here. So I'm looking at him all wide-eyed going, now I can see him. And he's going, hold, and everybody in the room's going, hold. I'm like, what's good? Oh, I think I'm done for the night.
You know, something about being blinded.
Oh, great.
I was telling Wilhelm last week,
Okay.
actually Saturday morning, whenever I got up, my wife looked down at my legs and woke me up with, oh my God.
Just remember that.
Because he got me a pretty good one, more of a, Duncan got me 3, and one of them was double A. And you got me one or a couple of times to come up more here. I think is a better shot.
Yeah.
Because if I duck into it or something, you could kill me if you get up here. So that's good. Juliana got a couple right behind the knee, and one of them was a bit low, and I told her about it. I was like, sorry, and I was like, but one of them she got right there, and that was the spot that she ended up in Wilhelm.
That was in the previous game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like,
that was a pretty brutal fire break, by the way.
Shield mode.
well,
My shoulder's still killing me.
I finally got the tricks that stop trying to hit me and just hit me. And whenever I got it, this shot really went well for me. Unfortunately for Duncan,
Good.
I think you were.
I was trying different things. My fighter practices had become, I work on one particular till I figure out what I can do. It's like that initial blow.
You're hitting one of the most armored parts of
You
my
know,
body.
I'm throwing a shot. If I throw it at range, because I will always fall up close. If I throw it at range, it makes, and it does.
It
Makes everybody stop.
But
Holy
it
cow.
did move the helmet.
Then I would take it.
Wouldn't take
Are
it.
you?
Yeah.
Are
I
you
didn't
looking me
feel
on
like I
Facebook?
contacted enough because all I did was
I
that.
don't know, but I can be.
Okay,
Well, see, that's how we get. That's how my helmet did move. The first time you did hit it, my helmet moved, and that's why.
that night, well, that night I went out and put it.
That
in
right
the
there is
snow
just a Willum.
because it was a stain.
It's called.
What?
That
The
night,
Willum.
whenever I got home, this knuckle was gone. And when I woke up,
We
these
started working my appendix, my
3 knuckles were gone, and this area, about the size of a racquetball, was nice and covered. What that was is you're coming in, clearing shot, coming in trying to come in on this edge, and I block it just enough, and I catch it right there, right on that hand.
Yeah.
And I've got
I'm tired, but it's
just
working.
a little bit of foam in there.
Right.
But for the most part, it's squished out. I was blocking that shot
With your knuckle.
with that knuckle very consistent.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. And after, cause you use that shot multiple times per fight, getting people back up to move and all that, and it started working. So I finally figured out, you know what, I don't have to block that same shot with this all the time, and I can do it minutes instead.
That was
and then hit here, and that had 2 good effects. One, because it wasn't right where I was resisting, you weren't getting that rebound to come in and bam, bam. This was taking a little bit of that energy, and that was letting me get a quarter step more in to the area that for some reason it seemed like you were avoiding. And
Well, everybody says I'm in everybody's face all the time. So I'm trying to change that up.
I agree that you are, but you're not there all the time. But you're comfortable and it works. And I'm not your knight. I'm not going to tell you. I don't want to tell you anything that's different than what they tell you. But what I would suggest is learn to do other things too, but don't walk away from it.
Oh, no.
What?
It's a 2
I like fighter practices are for, I've got to learn these other tricks,
Really
and then I'll completely change up. Next time you fight me, it'll be a completely different creature until I figure out what I can add to my armory.
Cool. Well, and that's the way it should be. Even the weight belt guys, they'll come out and it's like, what? Did you ever see the movie Mozart?
throw, but I'll come back and say.
from back in the
Just because
early 80s or whatever.
I don't have
And they
to
had a
on
party
my
game
shield.
would say, play it in the
I
style
can't want
of
to,
somebody else.
so I can free this up to throw.
The Knights do that. They'll come out and they'll
I
say,
remember you and I
I'm
run
going to
the
fight
Ceadmon.
this in the style of.
So
Until they stand up kind of tall.
It pretty much takes it down to
And
the
then the
slide
next
shot.
time they come
Which
out,
will bring the corner
and it's
up.
almost like
Then it's a
you're-
matter of just bring it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, nothing
they
is
they
perfect.
know how to
No,
work
nothing's
all this difference.
But
Meanwhile, I'm sitting there
don't
going,
recommend
what
that
should I be
in this stance because it's a basic
Yeah.
stance. Get it down pat before moving on to 10. And that's why I've been. Yeah, I can do the 10 and then.
Yeah.
Before you wander off,
This
Yeah.
shot,
I
know.
get you to,
yeah. I mean, you can do that one. I can throw
give
a
me a
shot
quick
from here.
inspection, because for some
Powerful
reason I
enough
feel
to
like
kill.
I'm missing
Yeah.
something.
You twitch your hips and you throw.
Got your cup down.
Yes.
That was armor piece number 1, and I almost forgot that, but I
Body
didn't
is-
remember.
Let's see, Sir Thomas's wife, Elizabeth? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Marie?
I
Okay.
don't know, Sir Thomas.
Or maybe it's Squires, I don't know. And she came,
Knees up.
and she had this, and she goes, 1, 2, 3. Like before I can even say good on the first one.
Yeah.
Could you do that?
And,
Where is it again?
and all
Yeah.
she's doing
I'll
is she's
take your
pushing
tip.
with, like I said, with that first one. And
No,
then
for some reason I'm just feeling a little.
It's like all 3 of them were like, it was, the first one knocked my head back,
That's
the second one
one.
literally took me this way, and the third one brought me back to this. It's like, you were good on the first one.
I think
you
this
just made that
weekend
work.
this thing's gonna get some attention.
Yeah.
This, I feel safe with that, but a lot of, with this flopping around, a lot of people are going, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get another piece of plastic like this and attach it to this, but in such a way that it stays over and it makes a little bit more of a shield around that. And then I think everybody will feel better about that. And fix my little floppy.
Well,
over here.
that covers up plastic.
Yeah, this is not
Maybe
protected.
kind of high so I can
This
see
is
what
just
the fuck's
less
going on.
heavy. I hope.
Always keep that.
It hit hard enough.
They're all about the aesthetics.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Some people worry about this in here, but I've taken some great shots just right in there, and it's fine. Yeah, this I've got. This actually comes down to there's some metal plates over here. So, I love it. The only thing I don't like about it is
Around the shield.
but
Yeah.
I'll take a little bit of sweat over the lack of protection.
Oh yeah. Well, you regained
Good.
You're nice
your
deer.
electrolyte.
Yeah.
Nice neck shot, which makes you appreciate the gorget.
Let me.
When you're, especially single sword, and I shouldn't have gone for a leg shot, never go for anything less than a kill shot.
Yeah.
In fact, single sword, most of the times what I do is when they get up in their stance, I try to push it out so I can come across. Okay. I like you quite well.
Okay. A trusty for you.
None for you.
I like how you kept moving and kept moving.
I tripped up on your feet. Good. Your tip drag her right down.
Well, if there was enough energy up here, take it. But if it was a drag, don't.
I thought I was supposed to treat this like open face.
Well, for force.
Okay.
But if it was a drag, if you just kind of felt something kind of go dinky dinky dink, I wouldn't necessarily take that unless there was just a little bit of back to it.
Okay.
And your cross body shot that you came with, your hip movement was great on that, but you never brought your hand across. Lift your shield up for a moment. No. Here. You just drug it. If you would have flipped it out a little bit, you had enough movement in it to make a great shot if you'd have let the tip come in a little deeper. So,
And those are hard to gauge.
But last time we fought, I wasn't moving my hips enough.
Mm-hmm.
So this week I'm focusing more on getting my hip movements down and then just start putting my sword further and further out there until it starts hitting good.
Yep. That's, yeah, always make sure you've got the hips in line. If your hips are doing what they're supposed to, the rest can be picked up on quite easy.
Yep. That's what we're trying to do.
Good. What does Rusty? Good.
That was light.
Shield took 1 second.
That's why I was light.
Yeah.
Good thrust of the arm. Good.
You did something that I'm bad at. Once you got out here, just turning your hips,
But not moving my sword at all. All I do
you
is
weren't moving your base.
yeah.
And if you don't move this, then you can't really get the shot.
All I did a really good job of was tangling my sword up in yokes.
Right. So,
Okay, single sword, what I'm trying to do against most people is to get the basket beyond them. Because the minute I'm here, I can push them aside and they can't do anything to me. And even if I have to, and I'll threaten here, see if they'll let me go on the outside
yeah.
and literally climb up their sword. And it looks a little bit like this.
And that time I kind of defended, knowing what you were going to do.
Yeah.
I followed your hand with it. Yep.
I was just
Yeah.
because when I got up here and he
Well,
blocked, what I
we-
wanted to do was come back like this. I didn't have pokey, so I just kept thinking, don't thrust, don't thrust.
Suck it up to take the momentum away from it.
The natural reaction was a thrust, and my whole thought process was, don't thrust, don't you dare thrust.
Okay.
Okay, we're dead, good.
Okay, do it again.
All right.
Good.
Did I get the shield on the way in or the way out?
Way out.
Okay.
You went, your tip hit, then this hit, and then it would actually rock back.
Because I felt contact with both, but it was nearly simultaneous.
Right. This rang, then my arm moved.
Wilhelm,
Yeah.
on his shield work, is he throwing up square?
Yeah, he's throwing a little square. You don't have to like this. Get a corner out towards him, especially if it's a righty. Because since their stuff is, you've seen, I'll go from here and even to there.
From here, he's got enough that he's got pretty much all this blocked, all on this side, but he's got great visibility. All right, and even if I come over the top, he can take away enough with that corner to keep me from taking him out. But what I see you doing is you'll come up and you'll square off, and sometimes whenever you block, you get like this. And if you do that, you end up with the problem that I have is you don't see that third shot coming until you recover, and they're coming in right behind you.
This is just another thing that I was talking about last week, was I would put that corner out, and then would slowly drift. And now it's over here.
Well,
And so what I'm getting is just like, get used to it being in front of me,
right.
used to it being in there.
Basically, you want that corner in your line of sight with your opponent, or at least not too much from their weapon. So if it starts drifting off, like to here, this is too far out.
Yeah.
If it gets over to here, that's probably too far out, depending on your opponent's position. But what I'm concerned about is you getting like this.
Getting, and I mean, the Knights, there's a lot of really good fighters that square up, and they're fighting up here. Yeah, I'm not good enough to do that. So even when I fight my heater, that front corner right behind my hand is generally pointed out like that. Now I'll square up once I get inside because obviously I can get more maneuverability,
But
out
at
here,
range,
because it's,
At range, corner out. And one thing they were saying is, I can't remember which one it is, but it's, you want this corner almost like right here in the middle of, like if I'm fighting with you, I want it right there at the bridge of your
that's
nose.
a very good starting point. Now, once you actually get in range and weapons start moving, that will change.
Yeah.
But as far as a starting point to center up, that's pretty good. So now, if we get like this, and he's tapping and tapping and tapping, and he moves laterally on me, then, you know, if I go like this, that's bad. Right. Because
That's where
visually it
comes
was,
into-
it was
he
the
moves
same
laterally, which is just pivot on this one to where you go. If you
That-
move this way, pivot on front.
That can work depending on your footwork, depending on their footwork. But in general, whenever you're coming up on your opponent or they're coming up on you, that's not bad. That's a good launch point.
okay. You need to take a break? You got one more in?
I got one more, maybe two.
Full?
All right.
There you go.
Glad I didn't pull that step up.
Something. Don't change.
Call that again.
Good. What was the difference between that and your first two combos that were the same?
What?
What was the difference between that shot that you just killed me on?
Pause.
Yes.
Big pause in the
The
first
timing.
one.
The timing. You got me to go tic tac, tic tac, tick, bang. Good job.
One step, you and me now.
Oh, okay.
He's been fighting the whole time.
Tippy for you.
This is for you. Skip.
Yeah. I thought for sure, I thought for sure you were going to come in deep and step into that. And after I unintentionally blasted everybody last week, I was like, no!
No, it was. Put my phone on, but my sword coming out. So I was like, oh, okay.
My attack was a good defense.
My third shot
That third shot was,
was just, just
well, a lot of pushing.
block, but
That was,
Defense
it was intended to be a shot at the start of that combination, but by your body attitude, I thought you were coming in, so I changed it up to be a clearing thing, and I know it sucked because I'm feeling it just above the back of my elbow.
it just didn't have any oomph on it. So.
Yeah, well, because I stopped it, and whenever I get my hand out to about here and then stop it,
No.
That's where I feel, and I should not ever do that.
No, you should have.
I would have been better to just.
Yeah, even with the clearing shot, if you just, even right in the middle of my shield where I don't have to move it or nothing, at least I go, whoa.
Hey, wait a minute. Something's happening here. I should pay attention to it.
It's a lot of fun, don't know.
Good. I was loud on the head, but I don't know if it kind of slid, but it got the shoulder good.
Just, that's all that was poking out.
Huh.
If you had, that's all I saw. And you literally had your shield tilted like that. So
Ah, I wonder if that's what I heard then was the shield coming in there. Could have been.
I got a question. Top of the shoulders killing, side of the shoulders only taking an arm, right?
depending on if I'm hitting you with a two-handed weapon or not.
Well, yeah. I'm talking about
weapon,
single
yes.
sword.
Top of the shoulder is considered body. Points considered arm.
Arm. And in great weapon, great to two-handed, it's a kill. It's gotta
That's
be like
a kill to.
it's gotta be like the bicep to only be an arm or something like
Well,
that.
that's a kill to about there, and then about in there it turns into an arm.
Yeah, that's what the biceps roughly the center of the forearm.
When in doubt, if you really want him to hit you in that place in the arm again, just take it as an arm. He'll hit you in that place in the arm again.
Yep.
With a mass weapon.
It's one of those.
What they doing?
Hey, Squirtimus.
He's green too.
And something to remember is that if you ever get armed and you get hit in that arm again, that is a kill shot.
Yes, that I know. I was told that there may be a rules question portion of the. Someone told me that there might be like the marshals might decide to ask me some questions on rules, and I'm just getting them cleared in my head.
Have you read the rules? Is what I've heard before, but
Yeah, I've heard. Have you read the rules? And I've heard someone say that not all marshals use, and it's actually very few, will throw out like an obscure rule to see if you know it or not.
yeah. What's the rule on a Madu? I mean,
What's a Madu?
it's an Indian fighting buckler horn thingy. Basically a two-ended spear with a shield right in the middle of it, a small shield. That's a Madu. We don't use them too much in this kingdom because we fight a lot of Viking sword and spear.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what it is. It's just like actually Thorbjorn Halfperson fights Madu. Thorbjorn Halfperson. But
I've not
he
seen
doesn't fight it real well because it's two-ended spear. And the people I've seen use it a lot, not only will they thrust like this, but when they get inside, they'll thrust that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually it's not on a specific weapon, but on like, two-handed weapon, knowing where it is in the arm.
The only time I've seen them like question somebody is if they've seen something happen that you don't seem to be reacting to. Like if it seems like the other guy is making an awful lot of good contact with the legs and you're not calling it, not taking it. I've seen them ask people, okay, if a leg gets taken, how's that played out? And they're expecting you to say, well, I go down and fight for my knees, go down defensively, protect myself, and keep fighting, something like that.
Okay.
So,
Well,
I, nothing on that target. I'm not
more than the other one.
Pardon?
More than the other one.
You did last time.
Ooh, good arm.
I don't have a sword shield, so it's water bottle.
Yeah.
I doubt it. You were stepping in, but I was coming back at the same time.
Hey, touch my gorget. That's all you need to do.
Okay.
It's like a cup shot. Oh, touch is good.
That's good enough. I don't want you to throw that any harder.
Yeah.
Good. If I have my shield out here, it's going to be awful tough whenever you roll around.
Yeah. And that's all I did was I've been throwing it kind of low.
Yeah.
I threw it here.
And that's
And
another version of what he was talking to us earlier about. Up here.
Yeah, instead of getting past the sword, he got past the shield.
Yeah. He found a pivot point that the only way for me to avoid it was to leave. Upon failure to leave, I was dead.
Best block, don't be that anymore.
Yes. Good arm.
Was it hard enough? Was it hard enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just right.
I was gonna let you counter though. That's why I was throwing the third. So, like I thought that would get in, but
Yeah. It did. When in doubt, keep killing.
I saw you doing something that I do that Duncan yells at me for.
What's that?
When you're throwing, you got to about here and stopped. And you did like 3 of those in a row. You're like,
What I'm doing, and I'm glad you pointed that out to me, is I'm newbie death gripper. I get to about here, and I've got such a tight grip down here that it can't
roll
get
forward.
roll past that. And I'm doing 2 things. I'm expending energy to do that and tiring my forearm out. And the energy I'm expending to stop that is taking away from the shot. So that even if I do make contact up here, I've stopped so much of it that it's...
Well, I just saw like 2 shots worth. Because the first one, you were going to be way outside and he was going to block. The second one, though, you came, like, your sword was actually like further in here. Like, if you had just used it, and just like, at the very least, you could have come down and you wouldn't have killed your arm.
Yeah. On those, I don't remember what was going through my mind at the time, but a lot of times once I feel resistance, I won't necessarily stop, but I won't physically stop the blow, but I'll quit putting energy into it so that maybe I can take it off the rebound and do something else.
and it's a balance. I mean, with get the shield up, because
Yeah. Well, all I was getting was just kind of like, oh, this is something I've been yelled at for, and specifically for medical purposes from someone who messed themselves up by doing it.
Yeah.
I
What I need to do is basically take these bottom 2 fingers and tape them together and hold them up to the side so that I don't do because I'm not doing any good. If you would have seen last week with Bull throwing his bull shots, even though they came in right on the shield with a ton of energy, because he was letting it go through, it was backing us up. So in that respect, after that first shot came in blasted up, he controlled that much of the fight. I'm not even doing that.
that's why I got the trigger set up like I do, because
Oh, okay.
it just floats in there. Very rarely does this hand get tired. This hand does because I have to grip it.
And twist and shift
Yeah.
and all kinds of forearmy things.
admittedly, my sword arm is usually the one that's not tired. Especially the shield. Going ow, 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 ow.
Because I'm doing it wrong, and I'm using a lot of this when I
No.
shouldn't.
You can use your pinky and your ring finger,
Mm-hmm.
but usually about there.
Yeah.
From here, and that, I mean, I didn't throw anything into it. I pushed it forward a little bit and brought my elbow down, but mostly it was my pinky and my ring finger clenching.
Yeah, and if that gets through, I'm taking.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's another thing Duncan was talking about. Is you eventually you'll get it down to where it's just just thumb and forefinger. He said never use your pinky. Start here, then go to here,
Well,
and then,
with the length of my pinky, I can have a problem.
yeah, so can I.
So,
Block! Whoosh! Ah, someone
yeah,
I can,
I would much rather have a sore forearm than a shorter pinky.
yeah. Well, no, I'm not sticking my pinky out, but he's saying don't grip at all with the pinky. Start,
Yeah.
since I was brand new, he said here, and at this point in time, he expects me to be here.
And that's where you should.
That's a good thing for you to learn so you don't end up with my head.
Okay, one more.
Hi.
Skipped off the shoulder. Almost got the slot.
Good.
I think it was flat though. Because I think I just went,
Might have been. Keep playing.
keep on. With that, lock up and either advance into contact or back out. But
Oh.
just standing there like that,
Yeah, all you did was,
He was kind of against the wall.
then advance into contact.
I was froze.
Because, yeah, because you just stood there. And eventually someone's going to go, oh,
Yeah. I was looking for something to happen, and by letting it happen, I died.
yeah. So in that point, up against the wall here.
Yep. Now you get rid of
Now,
that.
now I've changed it. But don't freeze, because it's, eventually they're going to go. And you go, no, 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 yes.
Good. Oh.
That's reminds me of this Christopher Titus sketch.
I've
Dive.
had enough!
Which is, by the way, great way to start a fight. Hands down, face presented.
Dive by an inch.
Having fun with the pedal?